Right, so it's been a fairly decent start to the season, to be fair. We've only lost one game. We're through to the second round of the FA Trophy, and today we've got two pretty decent teams we're up against. See if we can carry on our form. Hello guys, David here and welcome back to episode number 18 of Hometown Hero. In today's episode we've got the away game against Dulwich Hamlet and the home game against Chesterfield, both in the Vanarama National League. Since you last with us, we have won 2 games. Well, no, we've won 2 games, drawn 2 games, lost 1. And we've just beaten St Albans to go through to the second round of the FA Trophy. So if you have a look at our form, you see a bit patchy on and off. Obviously, first two games in the last episode, we drew against Bournemouth and beat Maidenhead. Annoyingly, we were winning against Woking. We went 1-0 down. We got it to 2-1 that we conceded in the last minute, which is a little bit disappointing. But again, good team, so good to get a result against them regardless. Even though I only just realised they were down to 10 men and we missed a penalty. But I knew we missed the penalty. I didn't realise we were down to 10 men, which is a bit of a shame. We then ground out a 1-0 win against Southport. Very difficult game, that one. And then went up against Notts County at the Silver Lake Stadium. And we played really well, to be fair. We got ourselves into it, but just unfortunately, we conceded a goal from Alicia Sam. And yeah, couldn't really get back into it. We were a little bit misfiring going forwards, but defensively, we looked really solid despite what the ratings tell you. So a bit disappointing, but otherwise unsurprising because they are a very good team, of course. And then, as I mentioned before, we beat St Albans, Warren Bentley with a brace to go through to the second round of the FA Trophy, in which we'll be playing against Maidstone United. But anyway, that's it for now. Nothing else has changed otherwise. There's no new players in the squad or anything like that. And this is going to be the team we're going to put up against Dulwich Hamlet in the first game of this episode. So it's going to be George Sykes Kenworthy in goal, Ace Thorpe, Bradley Green, Jan Yeva and Genesini the back 4. I'm probably going to say Ace Thorpe's name different every single time I talk about him, as I nearly did then. Diaz, Nippard, Cameron James and Dylan Thistleton in the centre of the park. And then it's going to be Adeloy and Warren Bentley in the centre. Sorry, the little pairing up front. But I'm going to switch them back to this way round. Although Warren Bentley did score 2 in the other way round in the last game. Just want to try and mix it up a little bit. And plus, he has got all of his goals realistically on the left-hand side of that centre-forward pairing. So we'll stick with what we've got. So let's get into the first game. Dulwich Hamlet are a little bit further above us in the table. I think they're third at the moment. But we didn't play last week in game. So we've not... yeah, we do have... Well, technically we've got a game in hand is basically what I'm trying to say. And this looks like a very packed-out stadium. Wow. A lot of Dulwich Hamlet fans in the stands today. Yeah, third in the league at the moment. They have played an extra game than us as well. But I sort of gets an early one in. Oh, Thistleton nicks it on to Nippard. Nearly went in. It's a really good start to the game though. 6 minutes in, Diaz from the corner ball. Tries to get it on Yanyeva. Nothing on that one. Unfortunately, James pings it forwards. But I'm imagining Diaz is offside. And yeah, the highlight ends there. So yeah, definitely starting to already see games that we're not playing, because I can only imagine it's to do with the fact that we've not got our own stadium, obviously sharing with Eastleigh, which is not something that was unexpected in my opinion, in my eyes, because I have played, as I may have mentioned before, I have done a save with Salisbury offline on Foot Manager 2020, got them into the Champions League, didn't win it because I just kind of had other stuff going on at the time. And I think I actually bought Foot Manager 21, which I didn't play on it in the end. But yeah, we did share with Eastleigh to begin with. We never went back to the Raymark after we got our double promotion, which we did in that series as well. And we then moved into St Mary's after a few seasons as well. But this isn't the start we wanted. We started off really brightly. Big ball over the top, and Alassani's in to score his 7th goal of the season, which is a little bit mental. And exactly what I expected would happen, exactly why I've been uncertain about putting Sykes Kenworthy in goal, is that. He's run out, he's put his hands down, and then Alassani's just gone, you know what, I'll just dink it past you. No real concerns there. So yeah, it's his first game for the club. Not covered himself in glory in the first few minutes, and Janyeva again, a little bit feisty, going through the Dulwich player there, which is a little bit unnerving, I've got to be honest. And there he is again. He's off his line. And in my opinion, that's 2 mistakes from Sykes. I'm not calling him this full name anymore. And he's not covered himself in glory in the first game. I mean, look at this. What is he doing here? He's come so far forwards. He needs to get all the way back there, and he's diving, but he's given Alassani about a gap about this bloody big to go and score within. Apologies if you didn't catch all of that. I don't know how much the camera catches wise on this from this distance, but yeah, it was a big gap, as you all saw. He's in again. Again, he's not got there. He's uncertain. He's made a mistake, and within 16 minutes, we're 3-0 down, and there's 3 goalkeeping errors, as far as I'm concerned. He's coming forwards. He's not certain. He's got no conviction in what he's doing. It's that eccentric nature. So he comes out. He stops. He tries to make the dive. It's not coming. He should have waited, or he should have pegged it out there, got down on the floor, and grabbed the ball off him. I used to be a goalkeeper. Uncertainty is the biggest mistake a goalkeeper can ever make, as far as I'm concerned. You have to be certain in what you're doing. If you're not, that's what happens. And we've already lost this game effectively, in my opinion. We're not going to get anything back out of this. The least we can do is at least score 1 or 2 goals and just retain a bit of favour and retain a bit of quality in the side. And again, ball over the top. We need to make a change here because this is not good at all. We're going to drop the defensive line much lower because we are just being poached. It's being pinged over the top, and we've got absolutely no way of combating it. Look at this again. We're a little bit too high. Ball comes over. I think that's Genesini who missed the ball. I can't say that Sykes is at fault at that one because there wasn't much he could have done realistically, but that's poor defensively. And this is the worst first half I've ever seen. This is worse than the Peterborough game where we were down by the same margin, but they're a much better outfit than us. I don't personally feel that Dulwich Hamlet are that much better. So I'm going to tell him that the performance is absolutely terrible. I'm also going to go and speak to Sykesy Boy and say, your mistake has cost us. Oh, I should have... Oh, I've just noticed that you were playing lazily one out there. He's just sat there, composed, the twonk. Got to be so careful. I don't know who watches these videos, but I've got to be careful. I don't say anything that's going to get me told off. Because if there's if there's younger people watching, I don't want to be rude. So he's down to a 5.9 rating. He's not playing in the next game. I can guarantee that. Not a chance in hell he is playing in the next game. He may get a cup outing now, but not really covered himself in glory, is he? That's a penalty, is it? It is. Nippard's managed to get in front of Matthews. It seemed a little bit soft, I've got to be honest. Who's going to be taking that? I can't quite figure that out. Adeloye is going to take it. Tucks into the bottom corner. 1 goal back on the board. I mean, it's not really much to write home about, is it? It's going to be a pretty torrid drive home from... Is it South East London? I think Dulwich is. It's South London somewhere. Bentley's not had a good show either. So you can see that. Look at the defensive. Admittedly, Genesini's not had a great game, but you look at the other 3. They've not played too badly. It's just Sykes has just not turned up. He's the worst of that back 5. We'll bring Dom Jeffries on instead of Nippard because again he's not really turned up either. And then I'm gonna make a change that might surprise people. I'm gonna bring Waldron on instead of Bentley because Bentley's had a rare lapse of form on the pitch today, which is a bit disappointing. The final change, if I can, is to bring on Chamberlain Gale. We'll bring him on the right hand side. Just to get Genesini off, because again, he's not really played very well today, has he? Not covered himself in glory at all, which is probably about the millionth time I've said that. We've actually outperformed Dulwich Hamlet in this second half by the looks of it, especially if you consider the XG rating, which was lower for us in the first half. We managed to absolutely trounce them. Waldron's been played in. Again, we've got another goal back, which is, again, retained a little bit of faith. However, again, shouldn't be 4-0 down inside the first half of a game of football, as far as I'm concerned. It's not ideal. We're going to get a third one, nearly. This two nearly gets on it, goes back to James. Plays Chamberlain Gale. He's going to try and whip a ball in, is he? No, plays James again. What's that? That is a terrible, terrible pass. Alassani could get a 4th here. He does. It's 5-2. What a rubbish, disappointing result that was. I don't know what that was that he tried to do. He'd scored his 7th goal of the season when he started in this game. He's now scored his 10th, which is just a really, really shocking result, to be honest. Very, very disappointed indeed. Sykes Kenworthy is not getting back into this squad anytime soon. I put him in because I thought, do you know what? We'll give him a run out. We'll see how he gets on. Yeah, it's not going to be happening again anytime soon. What a shambles of a performance. Makes his debut. I mean, his hair is enough for me to think, why on earth did I buy him in the first place? To be fair, I didn't actually pick him. He was received well, and they were pleased to see the new man in action. I wasn't. I was absolutely shocked there. He was rubbish. Anyway, let's go against Chesterfield, so we can do a bit better there. Okie dokie then, back at the Silver Lake Stadium again. Like I said, we've got Chesterfield in this one. Of course, you can probably already tell George Sykes Kenworthy is nowhere near the starting 11. He's not even in the squad. Funnily enough, Alexis Andre Jr. walked into the office the other day and moaned about the fact he wasn't getting enough football. Annoyingly, in the preset response the Football Manager gives you, there was nothing to say. Well, good timing, buddy, because the previous, well, the one wearing the number 1 shirt, amazingly, has had an absolute shocker of a last game. So good effort. You're in the squad. Couldn't do that, unfortunately, so I just told him I'd give him a game, which he was quite happy about. But the team has had a couple of changes. Like I say, 2 chosen, 1 enforced. 4 chosen, 1 enforced. I'm trying to remember what the team was last time out. Andy Janyeva is out on international duty. He's out with the cost of an under-21, so he's out for the next couple of out for this game. Sorry. So Chamberlain Gale's coming in to replace him. Davies, who's of course left back previously, actually played him at left wing in one of the offline games and played really well. So I've shifted him forward to play there. Jeffries has come in replacement of Luke Nippard, who didn't really do much in the last game, to be completely honest. And Danny Waldron has come in to replace Adeloye in the pressing forward role up top. But otherwise, it's as you were. I'm really, really struggling to get people fitting into the tactics and squad that we have because we've got so many players who can do a job for us. It's really difficult trying to get them into it. Antonio Diaz is a prime example. He's someone that I really want to get back into the squad again, but I'm just struggling to find a good place for him because he's not really performing when we need him to. So it's difficult. It's a difficult balancing act at the moment, I've got to be honest. Too many good players, some of them not performing, and then they just come out and moan, and it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Got to be honest. But anyway, on with the game. Lashing it down, but Waldron plays Bentley in. Can he finish? Of course he can. It's Warren Bentley. Of course he's going to finish. You'd bet your house on him scoring that goal, and he does. 2 minutes in, Salisbury FC 1, Chesterfield United 0. Lovely little dink on from the head of Danny Waldron. Bentley's always going to mop that one up. And I think that's the best thing. He's not the quickest person anymore. He's turning 33 soon, but his off-the-ball movement, at least according to the way he picks up in highlights on this game, is significantly better than many players I've seen at this level. And he just is always in the right area when it comes to stuff like that. So if you've got someone who can nick it on, he will score it for you. And wow. Ali Crawford. I mean, I won't clap too loud because I don't know how loud the mic will pick it up. But what a finish this is. I want to see this again just for the fact of what a finish. Jeffries gets it clear, takes a touch, gets it out of his feet, and yeah, what a finish that was. I bet you'll all be sat in the comments now saying, oh, George Sykes Kenworthy would have saved that. He's good from distance. Well, he's not in the squad, is he? So can't do anything about that. I mean, what a finish. And, oh, good save from Alexis Andre Jr. We like that. Hardy was offside anyway. But I was getting a little bit nervy there. We could have been completely turned over in the space of a few minutes. I'm glad we weren't. But it just reminds you that this is a different kettle of fish to what the Vanarama South was last year. We are not going to have as fun of a time. And as I say that, Chesterfield have turned the game on its head. The Salisbury fans in the main stand, I guess you'd call it, are, I mean, well, they're not looking very pleased. I'm not sure what Alexis was doing there. His hands were up and flapping before the ball had even hit the Chesterfield defender's head. But we go into half-time, and annoyingly, but not unfairly, but looking at the stats, we're 2-1 down. I'm going to ask for something else in the second half. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to tell him anything else. And let's just see if we can get something back out of it. Let's demand more early doors, straight out the gate. Waldron picks it up from a defensive header. He's not the quickest, as you can see, just slowly mustering some endeavour to get forward. And it ends up with Bradley Green, Genesini, Thistleton. Can he nod it forwards? He can. Finds Waldron. Hopefully he can get a ball to someone. Ends up at Davies. James! Yes! what a finish by Cameron James' first goal of the season. That looked to me like it was a Chesterfield counter-attack all day long. Because you look at this, you think, right, well, where's Waldron going with this? Plays it, somehow Davies picks it up, gets it Cameron James, and that is a lovely finish from the centre midfielder. Putting his stamp on the game, you love to see it. Somehow still got a rating of 6.3 despite scoring a bit of a wonder goal, and then Alexis Andre Jr. there once more to tip that wide. This is the thing, I don't know why my director of football elected to bring in another goalkeeper, because we've got plenty of them. We've got Callum Rollins sitting in the wings, should either of these guys get injured to come onto the bench. And you've got Marcus Beauchamp and Alexis Andre Jr. who are good players. So bringing him in seemed like a bit of a weird one, but I let him do it. And yeah, I regret it now. Not going to lie, see if we can... don't get me wrong, he's still going to get chances to come back into the squad. I can't say he's completely dead to us yet. But we'll definitely not be giving him too much game time until he bucks his ideas up. Going to bring off Chamberlain Gale as well. No, we're not, because we ain't got anyone we can really bring on ahead of him. We'll bring off Genesini, though, because he's not really playing very well at the moment. And we're going to bring on Senga. I'm going to switch these two around. I've just realised that Cameron James and Jay Senga are basically the same person, because they play in exactly the same roles in very similar positions. Or Bentley with an effort. You'd have banked on him to score that there, but he does put it straight at the goalkeeper, unfortunately. Nippard now, Icethorpe. Thinks it forwards. Doesn't manage to get it on a Salisbury head. Chesterfield pick it up. I'll be quite happy with a draw, to be honest, against a side like Chesterfield. Because I'm pretty sure they've played a fair bit of football in the higher echelons of the Football League. This isn't how it's meant to go. Oh, dearie me. To be honest, I thought that was going to be a penalty given when Cameron James put the challenge in, but fortunately got away with it. And then final change, we'll bring on Ryan Sellers to replace Rich Davies on the on the left-hand side rather. We'll see how he gets on. Chamberlain Gale digs it down. Nippard, ball forwards, finds Bentley. Can he finish? Oh, it's just wide. Oh, it was a tough effort. That should have probably been a little bit closer. Somehow managed to get it out of his feet and get it away from the defender, but nothing. Well, didn't hit the back of the net, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. James picks up Waldron, plays Bentley, and again he's got another chance. Can he finish it this time? Yes, he can. 86th minute, nearing the end of the game. 3-2 up. We've turned them on their heads now. And what a nice little finish it is here. Cameron James gets his head on it, finds Waldron. It's a partnership blossoming. I think that's all we can say, really. And that's a lovely little ball through. Clearly got a good little bit of, what's the word, telepathy between them. Because Waldron just seems to know where Bentley is, which is exactly what you want. And I'm really finding that playing two up top in Football Manager this year is a really good idea. And just as I was getting really excited, conceded from a cross. Something I'm not unfamiliar with managing any side, to be honest. I've never been good at setting up teams and having teams that are good enough at defending from crosses and stuff like that. And wouldn't you know, we've conceded a goal from a cross. We'll take a draw, though. It's a little bit disappointing, but I am going to tell them they did well because I've just seen the clip of the stats there and I saw them as we were going through the game anyway. They were the better team. We've done well to eke a draw out of that. We're batting above our average. We've got more points than we've played games, and that is enough for me. We're 5 points clear of that relegation zone. And apologies if you're going to take this negativity, but that is our minimum expectation. We do not want to go back down the leagues. That is the minimum. We need to make sure we stay above water, and therefore 19th is the least we need to aim for, in my opinion. If we start to get more results as we go through, great, fantastic. We're not going to do another year again, I don't think, but who knows? Long season ahead of us. But that's going to be it for today's episode. We'll quickly have a look and see when we're going to come back. We'll come back a little bit further down through the season. Again, I'm not going to worry too much about these cup games. So we will come back around about probably the middle of December sort of area. It seems most likely. Start playing some teams that you won't necessarily see Salisbury playing at this stage anyway. I appreciate there's some you probably have seen play before, but let's go for something a little bit different. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today's episode. Thank you as ever for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Back again in a couple of days for the next one. If you have enjoyed it, hit the like button. It massively supports the channel, and I cannot thank you enough if you have been doing so far. If you're new to the channel, welcome along. Hit that subscribe button and get yourself strapped in along for the journey. And let me know your thoughts, as always, in the comments. What do you think of the videos? What can we do to improve, and so on and so forth as well. But that's going to be it from me, guys. My name's been David, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.